Alright, so today we have this 2013 Liberty. We're going to be changing out the radiator. I don't know if you can tell, but it has two reservoirs on the top. And yeah, so there's some components we got to take off. And well, first of all, I'll check the new radiator and make sure it has this plug, at least give you some indication of if it's the correct one or not. And then we'll check it out. Alright, so I don't know if you can hear, but the radiator's leaking. I have a bucket down there, draining it out. We're going to be taking out this reservoir first and then working on the one for the radiator. But we'll take these two off, and the radiator looks like it's the same one, so we'll start working on that one as well. So we'll take these off and then we'll see how that looks. Alright, so not sure why, well, regardless, it doesn't matter. So I jumped those lines with the hose I had lying around, took off the remote, the plug. I gotta remove this screw and to take off this one, which is connected to the radiator. There's one less screw in here, and it's a Torx. It looks like a T25. I already took off this one, so I just need to take that top one off. But I think it was weird that it was set up like that. And this one doesn't have a screw here, so it's just that one. So I believe if I remove that screw, I should be able to remove the top reservoirs. And again, I always have a box for, you know, screws. So just in case I don't misplace them, they're all in there. So yeah, and this one on this other side didn't have a screw either, so looks like the horn might be holding it up. But we'll find out here shortly. So this one's clear, just has to release. Let's see. Yeah, the horn can be shifted off, but here, let me see if I can just loosen this. See, the horn is kind of in the way, so let's see if we can at least have this wiggle around. Okay. Now, there you go. Okay. Yep. And there's that whole top piece. So now let's see if we can remove these hoses. I believe we have to take off this shroud and the clamps, obviously, but I'm trying to get away from removing this top bracket, but we'll see how well that works. So we'll work on this shroud next. Alright, so it's gonna be 4 of these. It looks like it's a 5/16. 2 on that side, 2 on this side. One of them's close to where the bleeder is, so you can see the fluids over there. So we'll take those 4 off and take this cover. Alright, so I stand corrected. There's 2 screws on this side. You gotta remove one that's holding the AC lines down there, and you gotta remove there's a plug for the fan, so you gotta remove that one. So let me take this off, and then we'll see on the hoses for the radiator. remove this one. There's two on the top, and this one is just slides in. But that's pretty much all it. All right, so next you're gonna be taking off these 10 mils. There's one right here. It's holding the, supporting the radiator, and on the other side. Once you remove those, should be fairly easy to where the radiator should come off. We may need to see if the condenser's connected, which I think it is. Yeah, there's small screws right here. See if I can go in there. Looks like it's just on one side, the passengers, but yeah, screw right there. We've got to remove that. It's after that should be able to come off. Alright, so for reference, this was the top one, and it is a 5/16, but there's also one very on the very bottom, and I'll show you right now. And then it looks like on this side it just slides on, so it wasn't too bad. But here, we'll take it out so you can see what I'm talking about. Second. All right. Alright, so these just slide on. This one is the top one, and there's one down here, and then they just go on these mounts. So this is the old one, and we have the new one next to it. Looks like we're gonna need the plungers and these mounts, but everything looks the same, so just gotta put this all back. Alright, so just for reference, on the bottom, obviously this tool's too big, so it's still 5/16. You can use a bit or a small tool, 1/4 inch ratchet, but this is what I went with. So I'm gonna put that bottom one on first, and this one, and then we'll mount it. I'll slide it on this side first to make sure that it's good to go. Alright, so the two screws are on. I'm gonna work on the hoses next. So I'm gonna mount this radiator back on into its spot, and then put the radiator hoses. Okay, so put the other one, putting this one on. Next, I'm gonna connect the bottom hose. Yeah, let's connect that bottom one, and then after that we'll put that fan shroud on, and then we'll see what's next. All right, hose is back on, bottom hose. So next is the shroud. So on the bottom it just slides, and it's 2 screws for the top. I'll try to get those installed. Let's see if I can get a good angle on this. Good enough. So on this one, it will go straight. Gotta finesse this a little bit because I have That's on the way. So, let's see here. You gotta be careful with the AC lines on the bottom because it will go in the mid. And this one will go over here. Alright, so resting with both. So far so good. This one and this one. There we go. Not too tight on these because it is plastic and it may break. I mean, I don't think it will, but better to be safe than sorry. Last one will go on the bottom. And this one's the one that holds those air conditioner lines. So this one's a little difficult, but we should still be able to do it. So I'll see if I can get a shot of that one. Kind of hard to tell, but yeah, it's those lines. Alright, so hose is back on. Shot is on. Next thing to do is to put the reservoirs on top, and we're gonna take off this plug for when we start bleeding the system. But yeah, looking good so far. So let's get that reservoir on and we'll go from there. Alright, so after installing the parts back, almost lost the socket there. But anyways, so just so you don't forget, because I know I almost forgot, is when putting these parts back together, this reservoir's gonna leak. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so like I was saying, when you put these back together, don't forget to put back the connection for the fan, because I almost did until I started seeing the connection for that one, and yeah, I was like, yeah, we're missing something. Sure enough. Apparently somebody broke this, but again, I'm just here to put parts back together and not breaking more than what it already was. So, and I believe this one goes pointing up like this. Yep, there it goes. All right, so everything's back on, connected. We'll start putting coolant back into this and bleed out the system, run it for a little bit, make sure it's good to go, and yep, we're pretty much done. And that's it.